Oulton Park in Cheshire plays host to the opening round of the Total Quartz Ginetta GT5 Challenge. Welcome back to Oulton Park for round 2 of the Total Quartz Ginetta GT5 Challenge. The grid based on a driver's second best qualifying time. And it puts Mike Robinson on pole position with round 1 winner Sean Heighton alongside him. Lights go out, race gets underway then, and Mike Robinson makes a good enough start to lead on the way down to Oulton Hall. Sean Heighton in the black car levelling with him as they head to the braking area. You've got the orange and white car of the quick starting Ryan Ratcliffe looking for the inside. He can't find a way by, and so Robinson leads Heighton, leads Ratcliffe, and then a great start. Rick Parfitt fourth as they come out of Oulton Hall down to Cascades on lap 1. Robinson up front then. He led race 1, he was caught and passed by Heighton. He's got to try and build a gap early doors in this as everybody else works their way through Cascades. JJ O'Malley goes through ahead of the green and white cars of Andy O'Brien, and right with him Ben Constantiouris. And down they come then towards Island Bend for the first time. Ryan Ratcliffe staying with Sean Heighton, and Heighton is right on the tail of the leader as Brad Bailey goes backwards at Cascades. Exit stage right onto the grass. He had a spin in the first race, he's had a big spin in the second. The 3 leaders as one as they come out of Charleroi corner. It's still Robinson in the lead, but only just as everybody else funnels their way through. Richard Sykes, 21, up from the back of the grid after going off in qualifying, working his way through the traffic. 9th in the first race of the weekend. The leaders nose to tail, but coming out of Britain's. You're on board though here with Stuart Pearson, the reigning Ginetta G20 champion, former XR Challenge front runner as well, so he knows his way around Oulton Park. Now the 3 leaders come into his lots with a great gaggle of cars fighting over 4th. There though, further back, JJ O'Malley goes through on the inside of Ben Constantiouris' rather battle-scarred car, number 45, run by top GT team Scuderia Vittoria. And Ben, the host of the World Touring Car television coverage these days, he's right on the back there of O'Malley, an experienced Caterham winner as they go up towards Druids. Graham Johnson there, number 13, started from the pit lane in race 1 and worked his way through the traffic, and he's determined to gain ground here on the way down towards Lodge Corner. 3 leaders though, nose to tail, and this defence that Heighton's having to put up for second over Ryan Ratcliffe should help Mike Robinson a little bit to try to build a gap, but he's not really being able to get away just yet. Over the line goes Graham Johnson there, trying to gain a place as they come towards Old Hall Corner, into which Mike Robinson turns ahead of Heighton, ahead of Ratcliffe, then a gap. Parfitt going well forward, 5th behind him Clive Richards, and 6th is Gary Sims. From North Wales in his home circuit here, dropping down now towards the left-hander at Cascades. Still Mike Robinson leads, but he cannot get away, can he? Sean Heighton is just sitting there, picking his moment. Clive Richards also working out what to do about Rick Parfitt, who makes it easy for him by going wide. The musician bounces over the curbs. Meantime, Heighton tries to go around the outside of Robinson as they go towards Island Bend, and he's done it. Great move. Sean Heighton round the outside to gain the lead. Mike Robinson tries to fight back. Sean Heighton defends the inside line going into Charleroi corner. Excellent move that, round the outside, and now Ryan Ratcliffe tries to follow suit. So Mike Robinson in the middle of this, the early leader in the blue and black car, is trying to attack and defend as there. Diego Guggiari goes through on the inside of Mark Warnier, taking Richard Sykes with him. Richard Sykes up from the back of the grid. Now let's have a look at how Mike Robinson lost the lead. This is his view into Island Bend, and Sean Heighton pounces round the outside. He did it on the inside line in race 1, round the outside in race 2. And that's Brad Bailey, who's already had 1 spin in this race, and his miserable weekend looks like it might be at an end. He's out of the car, he's out of the race, the car's got fairly substantial frontal damage. That's the end of Brad Bailey as far as race 2 is concerned. Lee Mole, meantime, there, battling with Rick Parfitt. He's gone through on the inside at Lodge Corner, the 2 of them nose to tail, chasing after Graham Johnson, coming out of Deer Leap over the line now. And a yellow flag to wave at Old Hall Corner because it's coming out of Old Hall where Brad Bailey has got it wrong when he's in the barriers. So no overtaking permitted coming. JJ O'Malley fending off Ben Constantiouris still. You can see Brad Bailey's car stuck by the Armco on the right-hand side as they come down towards Cascades now. Constantiouris tries to close under braking just in the background there and get onto terms with O'Malley. Rick Parfitt comes through, having lost places early on by bouncing wide out of Cascades and rattling over the curb. And somebody else in trouble there. Look, Neil Delagi, another of the ex-Caterham racers in Ginettas these days, sorting himself out at the dip at Lodge Corner. He should be able to rejoin. Now Matt Flowers, winner of the G20 class in race 1, is doing a bit of chasing at the moment because Mark Warnier is ahead of him. So Warnier leads the G20 division. Will Burns, who's not had a great weekend with spins and dramas across qualifying and race 1, he's also working his way to contention now. O'Brien and Constantiouris are ahead of him in the similarly liveried cars, but coming down now into Lodge. O'Brien on the inside, he's going to go through, is he? Yes, he does. Andy O'Brien goes through, and following suit is Will Burns, look in the orange car. Nose to tail, those two coming out of Dearly, side by side, in fact now as well, because levelling with Compton Duras in the orange car is Will Burns. Can he go through? There's a lock-up from Parfitt. There is Burns, he's on the inside and he's taken the plate as well. And a spin, O'Malley, just as in race one, has lost it, coming out of Old Hall, rips off the rear of the car, edges it backwards off the road into the tyre barrier. He should be able to rejoin from there, albeit a whole heap of places lost. So Burns, O'Brien, Compton Duras, in that order, come out of Cascades. And then behind them, you've got the Brazilian travel agent, Tiago Calvet, a man that has something like a 10,000-mile round trip for each round of the championship. Calvet making progress then as he comes out of Dearly now. Just works his way past Kevin Begley, so there's another place that's gained therefore. Down towards Old Hall corner they come. See the Scuderia Vittoria car, Ben Constantinos defending on the inside, had a spin at the very end of race one. Fights for the inside as he goes through Old Hall. Calvin levelling with him, using all of the curb and the grasscrete. They come out absolutely overlapping. Down towards Cascades, is Ben going to hang on? No, because Begley gets past the pair of them. They were so busy scrapping amongst themselves, the door was left wide open. Begley goes through, and now Tiago Calvert's going to pick off Constantinos as well, and he's gone by. So Ben loses 2 places and falls back. In the meantime, you've got Sean Hyden on target, it seems, for a race win. Mike Robinson is still chasing after him, and this at Druids is another great battle going on. Gary Sims there on the inside line, and he's gone by. He picks off Graham Johnson. Lee Mole is right up behind him as well. Gary Sims in the Optimum Motorsport run car, the least drive backed one. The dark blue of the 3 comes into Lodge, and right behind him, Graham Johnson, exhibition organiser and publisher, and a driver that's got increasingly rapid in these cars over the last season or so. He's about to have a go back at Sims. Look, coming out of Dearly, they overlap down to Old Hall. On the inside line is Graham Johnson, and Gary Sims tries to defend. Is he going to be able to hang on? Not this time, he's not. Johnson goes by. Gary Sims having his first outing in a G40, doing a good job. Graham Johnson with a season's experience over Sims. He drove them in the championship last year, the G40, while Gary was in a G20. Speaking of which, the order in the class is Warnier, Flowers, Murphy. Look, coming down towards Lodge. And Matt Flowers in the white car having a look to get past Mark Warnier. Didn't do it there successfully. Squeal of tyres as well, just up ahead of them. Sean Hyden, who leads the way, is on target for 2 out of 2 by the look of it. He's got half a lap to run. He's at Brickens. Mike Robinson is behind him. And again, these two have managed to pull out quite a gap over everybody else. Battle between Graham Johnson, Gary Sims. Then the yellow car of Lee Mole continues. The G20 fight onto the last lap continues as well. And a big lock-up from Warnier, who runs out of road. He's over the grass, he's over the gravel, he's over the short circuit that takes you to Foster's, and he's over the limit as well, because he spins, applauds himself for making a mistake. He gets back into the race, Mark Warnier, but look at the gap that's opened up there between the two he was battling with, indeed trying to defend from, and where he is now in third. Sean Hyden, he's going to make it 2 out of 2 in the Ginetta GT5 challenge. He comes out of Dearly, checkered flag at the ready, and Sean Hyden wins. It's a much closer winning margin though this time. It is just 0.3 of a second as they come across the line. Third is going to be, as they come up towards the flag then now, Ryan Ratcliffe ahead of Clive Richards, but there are still battles to be resolved. Rick Parfitt versus Will Burns, for example, here. This is for 8th place. Parfitt is just ahead as they come over the timing line, and Parfitt hangs on for 8th. 9th is Burns. Behind them in 10th is Andy O'Brien. Stuart Pearson on the tail of Luke Davenport. Ben Constantinos has another last corner spin, just like in race 1. So eager is he to hang on to his place. He's a little bit carried away at Lodge, and Ben has another spin. Is he going to be able to rejoin before the G20s come through? I think he will. And so the G20 Summit is once again conquered by Matt Flowers, who makes it 2 out of 2, mirroring what Sean Hyden is doing in the G40 class. Another all-action race here at Oulton Park. Sean Hyden wins by 3/10 from Mike Robinson. Ryan Ratcliffe third ahead of Clive Richards. Graham Johnson in 5th. Hyden started race 3 from pole position and again was battling with Mike Robinson for honours. Behind him though, there was a great battle raging on for 4th place, which involved Clive Richards, Graham Johnson and Richard Sykes. Richards held the place as they came across the timing line, but Johnson was committed. He made his move on the inside at Old Hall corner and through he went. Sykes tried to follow suit as well as they headed down towards Cascades. Whilst Matt Flowers was busy trying to make it 3 out of 3 in the G20 class, already gapping the opposition. Stuart Pearson was busy in the G40 contest, hunting down Luke Davenport, whose car had been fired off into the barriers early in the weekend. But Pearson himself was assaulted, this time by Rick Parfitt, and that spun him into the Knickerbrook gravel trap, never to rejoin. Graham Johnson getting away from Clive Richards, and Richard Sykes was busy trying to hunt down the tree surgeon. Behind there was more drama for Will Burns. He was involved in a skirmish at Showall's corner with Lee Mole. Burns came off worse. He was able to rejoin, albeit having lost a fair few places. As up front, Heighton led Robinson. A pair of them nose to tail as they came out of Dear Lee. Heighton took his third win of the weekend. Robinson, frustratingly, his second place of the weekend. He tried everything, not quite good at the challenge of Heighton. Ryan Ratcliffe took third, and fourth was nose to tail as they came to the flag, with Gary Sims just being able to hang on in there at 0.149 of a second. Clive Richards sixth, and for the third race in a row, Matt Flowers was victorious in the G20 class.